Welcome back to the Hill Update. I'm your host, Dean Allison, Member of Parliament for Niagara West, and joining me on the show today is Colin Carrie, who's the Member of Parliament for Oshawa. Colin, I'd love to get your thoughts. We're going to show a video here. Paul Bernardo case, which is notorious across the country, but especially sensitive here in Niagara, where I live and where I'm from. I want to just show you this clip, and then I want to get your response to it. So victims seem to be overlooked here in Canada. And Colin, I just, your thoughts on why not allow the victims to have a say in the process? Why not allow them to be present?
I think, Dean, this is systemic issues with the liberal ideology. As Pierre said, they have a hug a thug uh, ideology where they're thinking that they're going to be putting the criminals ahead of victims' rights. And this is what my private member's bill, C320, is all about. It's incredibly disturbing when you have ideologues on the parole board who are putting the rights of murderers. And we know about the high profile Paul Bernardo case, and people. I'm glad that people are getting upset about it. But my bill was brought about by a victim's advocate, Lisa Freeman, whose father was literally killed by an axe murderer. He was bludgeoned to death, and the frustration she's had dealing with the parole board. And if I could share some of the comments she's had to deal with, Dean, the murderer of her father is up for parole, and the board, prior to any review, the board is legally required to share with the offender all information that will be used in the decision-making process. My bill is about sharing the victims, all the information with the victims, so they can be prepared for what's happening. The parole board is writing victims' families saying that it's the sole authority and discretion of the board to make these decisions, and without an in-person victim statement. So, Dean, this government is putting everything backwards. What the parole system is supposed to do is keep people that have victimized innocent families behind bars. And any review, they're supposed to be allowed to have some participation. And this government has taken that away. It's unbelievable.
So your bill, just for those that may be following these things, is called Bill C320. It's called an Act to amend the Corrections and Conditional Release Act, or the Disclosure of Information to Victims, which is what you were talking about. It. You just talked a bit about what it is. So why did you actually bring this forward and talk about where it is in the system, the parliamentary system, and how you feel that it'll help victims in the last minute or so we have?
Well, Dean, I have to give full credit to Lisa Freeman and victims advocates, because the average Canadian, myself included, was unaware of how victims and victims' families are re-traumatized by the system. Imagine hearing that the government, with the bill that they passed, and Pierre talked about Bill C-83, it means that everybody in jail should be at the lowest level of security possible. So we're having these murderers, uh, it's almost like a luxury resort where they can play tennis. They have, the 3 meals a day, chefs to cook their meals. And then the parole board said they can actually remove all the restrictions. So in Lisa's case, geographical restrictions. So this guy could actually come and live and move into Ontario again. These are significant implications for victims' families, and we shouldn't be re-victimizing victims. We should be keeping the perpetrators in jail and keep Canadians safe.
Well, Colin, thanks for joining me on the show. Thank you for that hard work on victims' rights, and we'll wish you all the best.